What is up, guys? This is Michael here with Ripping Lips Small Group. How you guys doing today? Hope you are. This is my first time doing a video, so hope I don't ramble on and start acting crazy or something like that. And hope you can hear the sound pretty good. This is kind of like a trial area. Just wanted to go over some of the baits and stuff that we're going to be using this coming week, this coming Saturday. We're going to be looking into some creek crappie, some bass, brim, a lot of panfish, whatever bites. Basically, it's winter time. Hope to have some fun, enjoy some fellowship with you guys. I got a group of men that's going to get together. We're going to have a little devotion, some prayer time, of course, and some tips on how to do certain things with rod and reels and stuff like that. We've got a lot of veteran fishermen in our group. So let's go over a few things that I've got in my box that I will be using. I actually picked a few things up today at Academy Sports here at our local Academy Sports, and I've got some things here. This is kind of like my go-to, guys, whenever I'm gonna do crappie or something in these creeks and stuff. Something that's going to cover a lot of water with a spinner on it. You guys can see this here. This is what we call a Road Runner. Of course, it says Slab Runner, but it's made by Road Runner. This color is a excellent color. It's called Monkey Milk. This is a 1/16 ounce. You see the blade. It's not quite a willow leaf blade, but it's also not a Colorado blade, but it's more of a narrow type blade, and it spins fairly easy. You can tweak it and twist it, actually, and tune it's what I call it, to make it where it spins when you barely do pull it through the water. In case you've got to go deep with it, it will spin and have some action. A lot of times I use this if the water's kind of muddy, or if I need like a cloudy, overcast day like today, need a little bit more shine to it and get some attraction from the fish, especially crappie. Crappie can be kind of finicky sometimes, but you want to trigger that bite. If you torture them enough, I guess you would say, it make them have a strike or eat during that time. Here I have a lot of the jigs. I'll get it out in a minute, I apologize. Jigs that I use, different colors. This one is a small shad jig. It's a 1.5 inch, it's long. You want a bait that's kind of small in the winter time, and that goes along with bass as well. Sometimes they like a smaller bait during the winter time, and these crappie do as well. This is a smoky shad color. I have, again, Monkey Milk. That's kind of like a go-to. It's kind of a silverish pearl color with a little flake, little blue flake, and salt and pepper, sort of. I'll go with that. Here's another one here. I'll show you this. This is Z-Man. This is a Z-Man grub that goes on it. It's a micro finesse. I like this. Of course, this is a shad color as well. It's a silver and it's smoke color. But the reason why I like this Z-Man is because of what it's made of. Fish grabs hold of this thing, and of course, I mean, you know, it's going to last a long time. You get it hooked on. And these fish, of course, you know, you're going to have people fish that short strike, things like that. I hear my wife walking in the background back there. She's probably getting tickled at me because it is my first time. Anyway, let's show you the rig that I'm going to be using on Saturday. Here's one of my cork rigs. This is a jig rig. Basically, I have it on a El Cheapo, you want to call it, Walmart special. This is a micro series Shakespeare reel and rod that you can pick up at Walmart. I mean, you're talking about a 20-buck rod and reel. It's about a 4-foot rod is what it is. It's a micro light, extra light, very flimsy. That's what you want. These crappie and things have very soft mouths, and you will tear the mouths if you pull a little bit too hard. This will take some of the torque out of it when you snatch or you set the hook. It will have a good spring action to it. I think Shakespeare makes these rod and reels. It's just a cheap one. You basically wear it out, use it, and throw it away. But this line that I've got on it, I think it's a 4-pound test strand is what I use, the little clear strand. Also, the grub that I'm using here is actually a white chartreuse grub. It's got a 1/32 ounce, 1/32, very light. It has probably a number 4 hook in it. It's what it's got, small hook. And the reason why I use such a light bait is because in wintertime, you want this thing to drift down real slow and easy. And also the knot on it. The knot is very important too that I have here. I have a cinch knot that's on it, a slip knot basically is what it is, where it's tied up. You see it's got a loop in it. Usually I'll slide the old fisherman knot, basically twist and tie and slip through and just pull it in tight, real quick knot. But this one, I have it where it's got a loop. You see the loop in it? And what it does is whenever the cork, you're jigging with this cork, it stops. You want this jig to float down. And when it's straight up and down, even while that cork's there, this thing is going to hinge. You see how that thing kind of like pendulums, swings back and forth on this loop? This is what you want when it's kind of, it gives it more action is what it does. You want it to sit here and jig. See, I'm just holding it still and you'll see it swing. And that's what you want to fish. While sitting still, the fish are looking at it. You want that action, as much action as you can get in one place to hold it there. Of course, for crappie and things like that, you want to hold it in that area where they're at, right in front of their nose, and they will strike at it because of it. Now, this bait is a little long. I did notice they were short striking it the other day. So what I'm gonna do, basically, is you adapt to what the fish like, what the fish are doing. And I'm going to shorten this bait. This is a 2.5 inch bait is what it is. But basically what I'm gonna do is basically cut the tail off of it to shorten it up. So the end of it is closer to the actual hook is what it is. So that's the reason why I do this sometimes. Sometimes I do this with a worm. If they're short striking, anything plastic like this, I can modify it, and I will. I mean, whatever it takes basically to get that hook set and get that fish to accept that hook. But here, this is what I have. See, it's kind of short now. Now it's about 1.5 inches long. So the smaller fish, and this time of the year, the fish will just basically suck it on up, and when you set the hook, they have the hook in their mouth, and most of the time it catches them in the top of the mouth, and right there at the lips, you get to rip those lips. Of course, when you set that hook, that's the whole purpose of the meaning of this group, is for fishing terms or whatever you want to call it. Now these jig heads, like I said, they are 1/32 of an ounce. Some of them are 1/16, some of them are 1/8 of an inch. My go-to, honestly, if I'm creek fishing, are those spinners and those blades. You can pick up a cheap, if the water's clear or whatever, a white grub, something like this, just a beetle spin. These are excellent baits. They do a great job and very popular. But they do a very, very well job and catch a lot of fish. And it's a great design, and it's worked for many, many years. Excuse me. And here I've tied on this one. This is what I've got ready. I make my own beetle spins, but it is a spinner like this with these type of blades. And you can switch the blades and different things. But this one, of course, I've put the modified, I put the green head on it that I've got. And I've got a shad color body with a chartreuse tail. And see, I will cut this tail off some as well, because this is a 2.5 inch long bait. So probably what I'll do is fish with to start with. If they start short striking it, then I will modify the bait, so whatever it takes. And the hooks, you have to look at the hooks and make sure you pay attention to them. You want those hooks to miss less strikes. You see how that hook is in line with the nose of that bait, straight across. That's what you want. You don't want it, sometimes if you hit a log or something like that and get it hung, that hook would turn down towards that head. And you got to be aware of it. If it turns down towards it, then you're less likely to, when you set the hook, for that hook to pop in that fish's mouth. You want that hook to set out just a little bit in line with that eye of that beetle or that grub or that jig. So that hook, when you jerk, it gouges up in the fish and when you set the hook. So you'll miss less fish that way, is the whole point. So, but I've got lots of other different grubs, and it's kind of like whatever comes with the time, with the season and the clouds in the sky and the sun, of course, shining in the water, temperature, and it matters a lot. It's a lot to do with techniques and just figuring out what the climate is around you, and it's years of experience is what it is, and you learn to adapt with it. And of course, sometimes, hey, I go home skunk too, which means I don't catch anything either. So it's called fishing, It's not called catching, it's called fishing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll try to do a little shorter one next time. I know I'm going in 10, 11 minutes here. Just want to do some little short clips for you just to show you what's going on. But hope to see you on the water. I'll show a few videos later on of me using some of these techniques and catching a few fish and ripping some lips. Thank you guys.